This is a video on how to use our Hours of Service app. When you log into our application, this is the first screen you see. It shows who is the driver, the truck that they're in, and the trailer if there is one. To change duty status, for example, to go on duty, you click the off-duty area, click on duty, not driving. It pops up. I am currently not getting a GPS location, but if I was, it would populate here. You can add a note if you want to have a note associated with the status change. You can see the odometer. I'm going to just click OK to move past this. See that it comes up with a green screen that you are on duty, and it gives you your time remaining until you need to take a break. These two things do change color as you're approaching the time to take your break. When you have 3 hours before you have to take your break, it turns to a yellow orangish color. And then when you are within an hour of having to take your break, it turns to a bright red, letting you know you need to find a location now or pull over and take your break. We'll go ahead and we'll start our break. Click Start Break. And ask me if I'm sure I want to start break, and yes, I am. Then it starts counting down from 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the required time of a break that needs to take place. So it will here count down so that the driver knows how close they are to that 30 minutes. Now I'll go over the 6 buttons we have below here. First one we have is data transfer. This is a way for the DOT officer to get an encrypted file on your application. There's 3 ways that they can get the file, either through Bluetooth, USB, or email. The next the next button we have here is our recap button. This shows you the last 7 days plus the current day's worth of information on how many hours that you've worked each day. Let you know how many are available today, how many you have worked today, and how many will be available as of tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and skip down here to the bottom to shift and cycle. This shows you your daily drive left, the amount of time you have until your break, your daily duty left, and your weekly duty left. When you are in driving mode, a similar screen pops up as our lock screen. It is actually in clock, and it shows you these same 4 numbers so that the driver can easily glance over at the tablet and see how much time they have, for example, to break or for their daily duty to be over. The next button I'm going to go into is our options button. This is where you can do a whole bunch of stuff on our app, from team driving to switching trucks to adding documents and changing any exceptions or adding them that need to be added. So we'll start here at the top on vehicle trailer. This is where you can switch your truck. So for example, if you go and you're driving your vehicle, your truck, and you have to go and pick up a load, you add a trailer, click on trailer. You can select one. We'll go ahead and we'll select Bumblebee and click on switch. It will let you know that the switch was successful, and then ask you if you want to perform a vehicle inspection, your DVIR. I will get to that shortly, so I'm going to click no for now. The next button we have up here is gain time. This lets you know when your shift resets and how many hours you will gain. The next thing we have is our shipping document. This is where you would enter in a bill of lading or a manifest number, as well as a shipper and commodity that's associated with this log. The next button we have here is exception. This is where you can add an exception. This can be done in 2 places, here as well as on the back end. So for example, if you ran into adverse driving conditions and you needed to extend your driving window by 2 hours, you would select and click on this box. You would have to then enter in the reason that you need this exception. There were adverse driving conditions, it was snowing, or it was raining, or something that falls into that correct category. And then you would click OK. I'm going to click cancel because I'm not going to add any exceptions at this time. The next thing we have is remarks. This is where you can enter in a note that you want associated with the log. The location will automatically populate if you do have a GPS signal. You will when you're out driving. I'm just in a building and therefore not getting GPS today. The next thing we have is a very important button. This is our roadside inspection. Click on roadside inspection. If the DOT officer pulls you over, there's two ways for them to review their log. You either click start review and they can review it on your tablet, or if they don't want to review it on your tablet, they want to go back and sit in their squad car and review it, you can email them the log. I'm going to go ahead and click start review. And this will pull up your last 7 days plus today's current log for the DOT officer to see. As you can see, there's all the information that they need from the vehicle as well as the driver. And we can scroll down. You see there is a grid chart here that would show all of your transitions and how many total hours you have in each transition. Then all of your transitions will appear down here. And you can see there was an edited entry. So there is a star here that they can see that there was something that was edited and who it was edited by. Down here, these two buttons are for team driving. If you click on log on co-driver, it will bring up our login screen and you can log in a co-driver. And then if you have a co-driver logged on, which I already do, click on switch co-driver, and it shows you all the drivers you have logged in. You can switch co-driver. It will ask you for a password for driver security so that nobody's using each other's driving accounts. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because I'd like to stay on this driver for the demo. The last button we have down here is document. I'll go ahead and I'll click on document. This is where you can enter in various different documents. For example, a fuel receipt, a citation, scale document. You click on add at the top. This will pull up the camera. I'm going to go ahead and I'll take a picture. You'll click save at the bottom. Here's where you can choose the document type, whether it's a bill of lading, a fuel receipt, an accident photo, a citation, or a scale ticket, or other. I'm going to go ahead and click bill of lading. You can enter in a reference number if you'd like to have a reference number associated with this document, and you can add any notes. Then you would click OK at the bottom, and it will appear. If you want to send these documents off right away, you can go ahead and you can select them. 1, 2, 3, 12 if you have them in here, or only a single one, as many as you'd like to send. And then you would click email at the top, and it would email it off right away. We do have the ability on both the tablet as well as our back end to enter in an email address or email addresses for this to automatically be sent to. It will pull up the email, and the driver does have the option to delete that email address out and or add others. So it's a way to automatically populate it and make it easier on the driver instead of always having to type an email address or having to remember that email address that these need to go to. And the last button down here is return to the home screen. The next button we have is the DVIR. This is for inspection. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up. You can see that my vehicle is truck 5, my trailer is Bumblebee. But let's say, for example, that's not what I'm driving anymore. I dropped off my trailer and I don't have one anymore, so I'm going to switch to not having a trailer. Also, in the back-end portal, you can associate DVIR forms with trucks and trailers so that the drivers don't have to always search for the DVIR form. But if they do, and they don't want to use the one that's currently there, and they want to use a different form, you would click on truck, ask if you want to change the form say yes. Let's say we're going to do tractor trailer instead. Then it asks you what type of inspection. We'll say this is a post-trip inspection since we already have pre-trip down here. So it is going to be a post-trip. There's also an ad hoc option. Whether it's the driver, the mechanic, or somebody else doing the inspection, you have those options. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll click inspect. I'm currently on my break. You need to be on duty in order to do a DVIR. So it asks you if you want to go on duty. If you click yes, which I will do in a moment, it will push you on duty. If you click no, then it will not let you do the inspection. So we'll go ahead and click yes and move forward. This will pull up a whole bunch of inspection points. These are 2 inspection areas, and then these are all of the inspection points within those. So we do have the option over here of a pass all button. This is able to be enabled or disabled depending on how you want your app configured. But for example, if there is a permanently mounted tablet within the vehicle and the driver doesn't have the ability to get out, walk around with the tablet to check off each of these things, you can click pass all. It will automatically pass everything. If you clicked on it once before I hit pass all, it will give you the thumbs up, the green thumbs up that says everything's A-OK. If you click on it again, it'll give you a thumbs down that says there is an issue here. And if you click on it a third time, it gives you an NA. We're going to leave this one as an issue. So we'll click on the green triangle. This lets you say the severity of the issue. Whether it's a low priority, maybe it can be fixed later, but you want to let this mechanic know that there is an issue out there that needs to be addressed. Or let's say it's high priority, and tires are definitely a high priority item. The next option you have are 2 things. You can take a picture if you so choose. Go ahead and I'll click on that camera. It'll bring up the camera. We'll go ahead and we'll take that picture. Click save at the bottom. And as you can see, a little one appears here to let them know that there is a picture associated with this inspection point. You can also enter a report. So if we click on the little bubble there, we do have speech to text. So if the driver does not want to type in the report that they would rather just speak into their tablet to enter the report, they can, or they don't have to add a report. You must complete all inspection points before you can finish and certify a DVIR. I'll go ahead and I'll pass all for the truck as well. I'll click finish. Click finish to finish the DVIR. And there'll be a couple questions here and some information on this page. It lets you know the start time of the DVIR, lets you know how long it took to do the DVIR, how many items were inspected. Then down here, you can enter in general comments around the DVIR that you created. This is typically used for the mechanic. So if he goes and he corrects defects and fixes the truck, he would go in here, do his DVIR to re-inspect the truck, and click defects corrected. If the condition of the truck is satisfactory, you would check this box. If it was unsatisfactory, we'll go ahead and click satisfactory even though we have a defect. And then you would click finish DVIR. One thing is the signature automatically populates. There is a location in the app that you can create your signature, and everywhere that needs to be signed, this will automatically populate for you so you don't have to sign every time. DVIR, it asks if I certify that this DVIR is correct and true, and I say yes, I certify it. It generates a PDF that you can later email out. So we'll go back to the DVIR screen. And you can see down here, now I have a post-trip, a pre-trip, and a pre-trip DVIR that's associated with this log this day. So if we click on the 3 buttons over here, we'll go ahead and we'll look at that post-trip inspection we just created. We have the ability to either view it if we need to go in and change something, or email it off. So if you need to email it to the mechanic right away, go in here and you click email. Like I said, the email address can automatically be populated if it's set up that way. Or you can also enter in or delete the email that is populated to make sure that it does go off to the right place. The last thing I would like to show you is if you click on these three buttons, or these three lines up here, it pulls up the other things that you can do. So the DVIR is also listed here, roadside inspection, and documents. We felt that these were very important items that you needed to be able to find quickly. So we have them in multiple locations so that that is an option. I would like to show you down here help and support. This is like a user's manual actually on the tablet. So it has a lot of frequently asked questions and of how to view things in the application. So we'll just click on main dashboard for now. It pulls up pictures as well as words on how to do anything you need to do on this main screen. As you can see, the application can be either landscape or portrait. I prefer portrait, but landscape is available as well. This concludes my video on how to use the hours